I also want to introduce to you guys something I've been working on. Everyone's aware of the term ROM, range of motion. I've got a new term that's going to sweep the fitness industry. It's a new style of training. All right, guys. You guys want to blow up your back? That's how I blow my back up. You want a mass building back workout? Try this. You want bulging lats? You want Tyrannosaurus traps? You guys want lats like Dorian Yates with half the work and half fucking genetics? You want to figure out how to not work hard, get big? You want, this is the shortcut channel. I'm trying to find where there isn't people, whatever. Just gonna put down my electrolyte. That's electrolyte. I've been drinking these like they're fucking water. Every time someone sees me drinking one, they're like, are you feeling all right? You hungover today? Like, you do realize it's a hydration drink, right, guys? Like, yeah. Like, just because you associate it with getting fucked up doesn't mean that people associate it with like being hungover. Drinking Pedialyte. I'm gonna do a fucking shoulder workout today. You guys have never seen a shoulder workout like this before. Not filming at our usual time, so forgive our the people in the background. I don't know what the fuck you'll see in here. I can't start with presses. I would start with presses. Maybe I wouldn't. I actually probably still start with rear delt. In 2 weeks, once I get my shoulder fixed, we'll see if I go back to pressing. Odds are no, unless it's for rehab. But yeah, I usually start with rear delt stuff just because I don't have the mobility to do pressing, so I just fire up rear delts and get them stable, and then I move on to like side delt stuff. So once that cable becomes open, we'll start using that cable. For now, we'll do the ever popular super butchered movement of rear delt. It's like, guys, just let your arm go limp. Keep your weight over here, so your weight on this point of your shoulder, your rear delt where you're trying to push, and just elbow back. Your hand's not doing much. It's just holding on for the ride. You just rock through. You just gotta keep dumbing it down for people so that they get it. And it's like people say that too, like, well, why do you're doing the same thing over and over again, or talking about back all the time, blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, I hate to break it to you guys. It's not my choice. And it's not my issue that I keep seeing how fucked up movement is, that I have to keep addressing it in multiple different ways. But it's the same mentality as like, you're always gonna need to improve. Like, say you're a golfer, there's a million golf swing pros out there. There's a million guys working on their swing every fucking day. And they've been playing golf for 30 fucking years. And they're still working on their swing and their technique. So what makes you think that you're gonna get it quickly? Like, that's my most hated thing. Like, if you ever book a session with me or you want to train with me, do not tell me that, yeah, I just want to like go over some basic stuff and like get the movements, and then that's all I really need. It's like, do you understand that the ignorance of that comment? That you think, one, you're delusional enough to think that you can understand what someone's teaching you in one session, and something as dynamic as lifting weights, and like, you have no idea how messed up you may be. So it's like, just be like, oh, I'm a savant, fucking genius. I'm the Rain Man of working out. You just show me and I'll get it, no problem. Explain one tip to me, I get the rest of it. I've seen people like with really good movement, that they start off with really good movement, and all it takes is little tweaks just to make it a little better, but you have to keep reminding them, because they're still stuck in those movement patterns, right? So it may be good, but it's not really optimal. So they can always be better, so you have to prod them. Same speed of tempo. Some people might understand this, some people might not. Obviously, probably a large portion of people aren't. Have you guys ever seen a stuntman in a movie? Or ever seen like a documentary about stunts or whatever, but behind the scenes? When they throw people, say someone jumps off a building, right? The spool of like the cable that's attached to them starts off very thick and ends up very narrow. Right? I think it's maybe that way, it's the opposite. But either way, like the width or the size of the spool either decreases or increases as the person falls, but the end result is that the fall starts very fast. So you see the person flailing off the building, and they like come to a stop. They don't necessarily have to hit pads below or boxes, especially if it's like a massive fucking freestanding building. I'm not gonna have someone jump off and land in boxes. They're connected to a cable, which they edit out later in filming. but like the speed of the fall looks natural to start because they are falling as fast as naturally they would. And then as the fall comes to a hang, they like literally come to a stop. That's the same tempo you're keeping on a lot of machines that you're not conscious of, right? Like my negative in this motion, even any pull motion, is I'm pulling down here, so my negative going back out is fast at the start. The release here is quick, and then it's, but my motion out of here is quicker. It's not like I go here and I go, do you understand? Like I'm not doing that and thinking that I'm keeping tension. I'm rocking into here, I'm rocking out, and then I'm slowing down the tension, reaching, pulling. So it's the same, the speed's quick here at the start, and it slows down here, and then it's fast, and then it slows down. So we're speeding up, slowing down, right? That's how you understand tempo with that very random fucking comparison. Now you guys are gonna have to go Google like free fall videos and stuntman work. But just understand like the motion of something can be quick, and then it can decelerate, and it can accelerate, and then it can decelerate. Like that's tempo and understanding pressing. Like I'm accelerating, I'm decelerating. I'm accelerating, I'm decelerating, right? Like, so the drop initially off my drop might be kind of quick, and then I get into my body and I hold that tension and I fire off, right? Because I can't get that depth and that proper squeeze and pull back if I did it all fast. Because I'll just bottom out, I'll fall into the weight. Whereas here I can fall and then I can lift and fire. Here I can lean, I can take my arm across my body out of here quick. I can get the pull, and then I can move off of it, right? So the idea of flowing though, like my movement's not stopping and it's not starting. It's hesitations and then there's movement again, right? See, when I get here, I don't stop, I just rock right off the movement again. When I get to the bottom, I don't squeeze. I'm just constantly moving, rocking on a muscle I'm trying to hit. Because this muscle, my rear delt is very small, and it's an area I can't feel. It requires stretch more than it requires contraction. I have to lengthen and shorten, and I have to feel it pull around. I have to really get the feeling of a pulling sensation across the back of my shoulder to hit my rear delt. It's not a contracting feeling. I don't come here and go like this and go, like, yeah, I'll feel it there, but I'm also locked in my trap and my fucking delt and my fucking neck's cranked. So I just want to find where that tension is on the back line of my shoulder based off my hand tension. This is my furthest point, and my rear delt is now my other point, and I'm just pulling across and sliding. I can get any angle I want. I can be even taller and pull across here. I'll find any angle I want to pull on. I can be underhand and pull through. It's just whatever angle works for you, where your hand is still in front of you a bit and you're rocking across on elbow. So that my rear delt is forced to pull across the front line of my body. I'm just being pulled around me here. So I'm reaching and rocking. It's not just going up and down. It's just pulling into me for the sake of pulling into me, right? I'm gonna be doing a review later in this video. Stick around. It's gonna be your my top pieces of gym equipment to text on. You can lean here, but like when you're texting, you want to be in a seated, comfortable position and be taking up machines someone else could be using. And then when they ask you how many sets left, you tell them 4. I was like, well, are you planning on doing any of them anytime soon, or? I'm just getting used to the seat first. I also want to introduce to you guys something I've been working on tirelessly. Everyone's aware of the term ROM, range of motion. I've got a new term that's going to sweep the fitness industry. It's a new style of training called FART training.
FART?
F-A-R-T.
Okay.
You want to know what it stands for?
Yeah.
Full active range of tension. I want everyone to say, what's your style of training now? Oh, I'm doing FART training now. It took me a while to come up with that one. At least 15 minutes when I was driving in my car. Try to get a lot of blood in my rear delts before I start stuff. Like one for regular people who have good shoulders, just because a lot of guys have a hard time understanding, like I've said before, where your rear delt is. So why don't we get a lot of blood in there before we start doing our main movements, in the hopes that we can be more aware of our rear delt area or how pumped it is when we're doing movements that maybe aren't targeting it. So we're understanding how to incorporate them better. It's the same as like trying to get your glutes to fire before you do legs. I want to be aware of where my glutes are so I can recruit them better when it comes to pressing movements or squatting movements. Like I understand, because there's blood in the area, I'm aware of it more. It's the same with rear delts, right? You can start with pressing, but pressing is just kind of a gamble in my eyes, because when you start with pressing, you don't really, unless you're really good at pressing and understand how to press properly and understand where to push from, it's like you're starting cold and you're just shoving your arms up in the air on a joint that's so unstable and moves in so many different ways. Like why don't I flood the joint muscle, like the muscle with blood in the joint with fluid and get it moving and then start doing all this other stuff, right? There's probably no safer way to do that than to start with rear delt, because we're working from the back to the front. I don't want to overload my front delt with all this pressing work to start off. So I'm super bound down in my front now. So when I move on to laterals, I just stay bound because I'm already pulled forward here. Everything's contracting here. And I'm already pushing out more on front delts. Like, why don't I peel myself back and get the rear delt to fire and feel like I'm kind of back here a bit. So I'm able to understand, like, this is still relaxed. I got a lot of blood in my back, so now I can move properly. My front delt isn't like overloading the whole workout. When you start with presses, especially you guys and girls out there who press horribly or do your laterals all fucked up, you're just flooding that front delt with blood, and your assumption of a shoulder pump is just how much your shoulders ache. It's like my shoulder's aching when I'm working out. It's like, it shouldn't be aching. I had a guy train the other day, he's like, I don't know if I'm pumped right now or not. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, should a pump should it feel like, what did he say? Should it feel like it's like sharp pain? I'm like, no. He's like, well, that's what I think when I'm getting a pump. I'm like, well, you've been lifting fucked up, man. Like, a pump is like an enjoyable feeling. Like sometimes on legs, don't get me wrong, it's a little bit fucking annoying because like you can't move your legs and you're getting the fucking the knee kicks when you're walking. But even as a bodybuilder, we enjoy that shit. Like I like to be like walking, be like, oh fuck, shit, like my legs are fucking pumped, right? I want to get to stairs and be like, okay. Or if you sit down in your car too long after you train legs and you get out and you know the feeling. You're like, do these things still work? Or to begin our guide of our fart training, full active range of motion. Let me put this down actually because I don't want to do this so heavy. Full range of motion on this exercise. If you were to textbook it, like if we were to say like, this is a movement, this is how you do it, full range of motion. Full range of motion would literally be this, and you see people doing this. So they'd be here locked out and they'd just like, here, so it's like I'm A, B. This is my full range of motion, right? Now you understand if you're full active range of tension, so it's like we're finding our tension point here, which is still in the front. So my hands are as far out in front of me as I can get it. My hips are back. So when I move here, all I need to rock to is about here. So if I do it with one arm and I'm not using the other arm, I'm really rocking across here and back. Because I'm falling back when I throw, so this is my furthest I can push. I'm not trying to go. As I'm keeping tension, there's active tension on my hands and on the cable, so that I'm rocking and moving with it. Rocking. So this is full range of motion. Full range of tension, sorry, it's not full range of motion. It's not my goal to move things as far as they can go and as far back as they can pull. Like if I was doing the one arm pull we just did, it wouldn't be to stay in here and go like this and go. Do you know what I mean? Some of you guys are but some of you guys are doing it properly. You're focusing on full range of motion, which is, that's a good thing. It's a good start. But now you have to understand tension. And understand that full range of motion may be this much movement, technically. But we only need to work in, like we need to cut out the top end, we need to cut out the bottom end, and we need to work in this area. So we need to be like focusing on this frequency of just rocking in this range right here. Even though this is all of it, we need to just be here. Or if someone needs to work here, wherever it needs to be, depending on what they're trying to hit, how they're trying to focus on the muscle. That's more of an accurate depiction of what needs to happen when you're training, especially for bodybuilding, is understanding that range of tension. Like where are we trying to activate? How are we trying to move to hit that muscle? What position am I getting my body in? What's the full range of motion for that? We'll talk about it on shoulders because we're doing shoulders today, but I'll show some chest stuff after. But it's just understanding like full range of motion isn't enough. It's like it's your basic foundations. It's like chemistry 101. And then we're going to like AP chemistry or fucking like our capstone course of chemistry, right? Where we have to like understand nuances of what's going on in that topic, right? So we need to get closer and closer to that to really be a good bodybuilder, really understand how to work out. It's not like you have the same issues like full range of motion. Like we're full range of motion guys. We go to the bottom and we sit there and then we stand up. And then we sit there and then we stand up. And it's like, yeah, but you could also just work in this range and really sit on the muscle and really get the muscle activated, understanding tension and tempo, and you'll grow and perform way better. It's not like, I do full range of motion on everything, man. I got full development. It's like, I'm gonna go on to our next review. I'm sure a lot of people out there have been waiting for this. So, I mean, everyone's got their biases and their preferences, but you know, these are my top three machines or pieces of equipment to text off of. Like, you just gotta find that right piece, and you can be there for hours. You don't have to do one set. You don't have to do one rep. Like take this. This is this is like in my top three. No particular order. If I come here, right, I'm just hanging out. I can be texting here. Everyone thinks I'm training. Like they're doing their thing. They look over. Oh, he's still there. Like he's fucking working hard. Like every once in a while, you pump out like one rep, and then you're, yeah. It's fucking perfect. I can leave here all day. I can take a nap even. Put it on the ground. It's fucking doesn't get better. This might be number one. This is another classic. Like, if you guys have a Nautilus row in your machine, like, look at this texting position I'm currently in. No stress on the joints. Resting right on my legs. You know what I mean? Like I can put my feet up here, just leaning. You know what I mean? It's perfect. Not to mention, like, think about this, right? The lighting here. If I want to take a fucking selfie right here, along with texting, it's a double whammy. There's no fucking telling. Like, the possibilities are endless here. And if someone looks over and they wonder what you're doing, you just fucking... Last but not least, by a long shot, the comfort of this bad boy. Like I'm getting hugged right now. This fucking thing. You know what I mean? I don't even need to hold my phone up. It's holding it up for me. I can just rest the phone here. Every once someone looks over, I just fucking... It's fucking great. It's like being a lazy boy. There's no better machine. This might be my favorite machine to text off of. I know it's yours too. Everyone watching. Especially you ladies out there, huh? Love yourself a little hip thrust text session. Fucking makes the day go by. You know what I mean? Some girls I see, they come in here, they don't even work out. They just travel to different machines and text on them. I've literally seen that. I'm not making that up. I wish I was making that up for the video. I've seen that in real life. So, congrats to you.